Hey guys, so today I am going to be potting up my not so little pepper plant babies, seedlings, who are now starting, well, some of them are starting to produce flowers, which means it's time for them to get out of those little cells. Jack, as always, is with me, helping me mentally, spiritually, this little critter of mine. He is always in my space when I'm doing things. That's his favorite time to spend with me. And yeah, he's my little emotional support guy. So we're going to be potting up these pepper plants, just showing you guys quick little thing what I got going on these racks. But look at these beautiful roots, okay? I started these peppers last year, between December 24th and December 26th. Okay, I believe it was the 26th that I actually started the seeds in paper towels. So after they sprouted about 7 to 10 days, after I started them in paper towels, I put them in soil, and this is how they look now. So they have really outgrown these little cells, so now it's time for them to move up in cups. You can use biodegradable cups, you can use paper cups, you can DIY, make some newspaper cups, you can use yogurt cups, whatever cups or containers you have, you use, okay? As far as soil goes, I do a mixture of perlite mixed with cocoa coir, and I also add in 2 bags of seed starter mix in here. And I add in a little bit of 10-10-10 fertilizer in here and mix it in just a small amount, nothing too crazy, because I do feed my plants with water soluble fertilizer. Okay. Excuse Lucy, she's barking at someone. So this is how the pepper babies look now. Very nice and healthy, beautiful root systems. They've definitely run out of room. Their roots have run out of root. They've ran out of room for their roots, and I don't want the roots to start growing upwards, since they don't have any more room. So it's time for them to move into cups. So I usually use plastic cups. I make holes on the bottom. I use a knife to make a slit in the bottom, or you can use containers like this. Cups or containers like that are reusable. You can wash them and use them for a few years. I usually use my cups for at least 2 years, sometimes 3, depending on how damaged the cup is. Okay, so what I like to do is cut a little slit in the bottom. I'll do this in like a cross shape. This is to make sure that my plants are draining correctly and can absorb water when I bottom water them. So when they go in the tray, when I'm done with potting them up and I put them in trays, the way I water, I do not water from the top. And the reason for that is I don't want the soil or the sand on top, or whatever mixture I'm using on top of the plants, to be moist. This just makes it a perfect breeding ground for fungus gnats. So I bottom water, and this way the roots get the water, they absorb whatever they need, and what they don't need just stays in the tray until they need it. Okay. So this is how the pepper seedlings look. They are absolutely beautiful. Their root systems are pretty white, bright, and they've definitely, yes, ran out of room. They probably have about a half an inch worth of soil left in here to expand, but I didn't want them growing all the way up to where they're so compacted in there. All right, so when I put the soil in the cups, I do not press it down too hard. I put it in there. I push down just a bit. I don't pack it down in there real hard, because I don't want the soil to be too compressed and make it too hard for the pepper plants to be able to expand their root systems. So it's nice, fluffy, and loose in there, but it's also full. I give it a couple of taps to make sure everything goes down, and then I'll take my finger and level out the top of the soil, gently pressing down to make it as level as I can get it, getting the soil off of the sides of the cup. As you could see right there, just kind of getting it off of the sides like that. And that will be for my next step. And this is how I have been keeping my plants, my indoor plants and my starts gnat free. I've been using sand. You can get this sand at Home Depot, Lowe's, or any hardware store that sells sand. They have play sand. They have fancy sand, whatever. Most of the sand is made with granite that they crush down and they turn into sand. Okay, so This is how I've been keeping the fungus gnats away from my plants and keeping my plants healthy. And like I said, I do not water from the top, so this sand does not get disturbed. I only water from the bottom, which you will see towards the end of this video. Okay, so most of this is just going to be me potting them up. These are new trays that I got from Amazon. I'll put the links down below for my starting containers and the trays that I use. And I usually keep these for at least 3 to 4 years. My last set that I bought about 3 to 4 years ago has had I still pretty much have all of them except for two that developed holes in the drainage trays, but these new ones, once I'm done with them, I will wash and disinfect the trays and put them up, and they'll be ready for next season or fall garden. Okay, so you can reuse them. You don't have to throw these trays away, and they're way better than the trays that you get, say, in the Dollar Tree or Family Dollar or whatever. I mean, those trays still work, but sometimes they're only good for one season because the plastic that they use on those trays are so flimsy. If you hold them the wrong way, they can crack and slit down the side in the corners, and then you have to buy a whole new one. And I feel like it's more cost effective because if I'm paying $10 on Amazon for all these trays and paying almost $6 for one tray from the dollar store or the value store or whatever, and that breaks in one season, that money is gone. But the ones from Amazon I will have for about 3 years or more, depending on how I take care of them. Okay, and so far I still have a lot of my Amazon trays, but I don't have many of my dollar store or value store trays anymore because they do end up splitting, cracking, and then the cells that they put on the inside of the trays, the plastic is so thin you can literally crunch them in your hands. They're so thin. So you know it's really hard to reuse those, to wash them, and I like to use boiling hot water to wash my trays. If I did that with those trays, they would melt, you know. So this way I'm able to reuse my trays, and like I said, my cups. So my cups can be used for tomatoes, they can be used for fall garden, they can be used to start cuttings, they could be used for many things. And once I'm done with them, they go into my recycling. I pay for recycling, so they better recycle them. I even called them and asked them about it, so they say it's fine. I put it in there, they recycle them. Okay. But yeah, like I said, we are potting up pepper plants. I ended up doing 60 pepper plants. 60 pepper plants, you guys, and I still have about 25 to maybe 30 pepper plant seedlings that I still have to pot up. If you guys want to see, you know, like the process or more of my daily updates on gardening stuff, definitely follow my Instagram page at Garden of Queenie at Instagram, and you could see what I post daily. I also started my ginger. I have a video on here on how I start my ginger. I have a video on here on how I start sweet potatoes. I'll put a list down below for all the things that I have on this page that are garden related. It's in a garden playlist, so it's easy for you to access. But yeah, I really hope you guys, you know, try to start growing some food, some plants, some herbs, even lettuce. Lettuce is probably the easiest thing you can ever grow. It is super easy. It's kind of like sprinkle, water me, leave me alone, and it will pop up. Okay. But anyway, look at these 3 pepper plants that are in this little cell. All their little roots are entangled. So what I do is gently, you know, kind of not squeeze it, but like rub on the roots to take them apart. I don't rip them apart. I'll rub on them to loosen them up as much as I can, and then I'll gently pull so they can like untangle from each other. I purposely put 3 seeds in here because sometimes I just need the space. So I'll just put 3 to 4 seeds in a cell, okay? So it is what it is. They grow just fine, and then I pot them up and put them in their tray like so. And that white sand just does it for me. It just makes the pepper plants pop. It makes them look super healthy, healthier than they already are. It shows off how beautiful, bright and green that they are. Bright and green that they are. Bright and green shows off how pretty, bright and green that they are. Is that proper English? I don't know. Look, I'm from South America, okay? it is what it is. But it does show off how beautiful and bright and green that they are. I think that's how you're supposed to say that, right? Yeah. This is why I can't have a TV show, because sometimes my English is not that great. Um, so I ended up doing 2 trays, and I was gonna leave it at that. Then I did a third tray, and then I was like, okay, come on, I could do more. Starting plants from seed and taking care of them is some work. It's not a lot of work, but it is some work. Requires some time and patience, but it is very rewarding. Here, I'm topping off some of my pepper plants. These are the ones that decided that they will start producing flowers and have little buds on them. So I just top them off. And what's going to happen is they're going to start sending out shoots between their leaves like so. And this will make them nice, big, and bushy. I will end up topping the rest of my pepper plants. So basically cutting off the top of the plant, and that will force the plant to grow a bushier plant, which will eventually produce more peppers for me. Okay, so I did 3 racks, and then I ended up doing a 4th one and put that one in. But just wanted to double check, make sure I cut off all the tops. This one had 2 flowers, I think, on it, and was ready to produce little peppers. Yeah, not time yet. I believe that is a Thai red pepper that is doing that. And these are seeds that I kept from my own pepper plants. I do sell seeds, and I have a seed shop, so that is down below in the description box if you guys. And honestly, growing plants, especially from seed, can be super therapeutic, super relaxing. It's the most affordable therapy you can ever get. Because think of this, a tiny little seed, just a tiny little dry seed, could turn into one of these with your care, your love, your time and patience. It can grow into something beautiful. It could grow and produce fruit, or it could grow and produce flowers. It is completely up to you what seeds you choose to grow. You know that saying, you reap what you sow? You sow seeds. So, same thing here. Okay, that you can use that saying in real life, and you can use it for gardening, obviously, because that's where it comes from. You get what you plant. Whatever seeds you plant, that's what you get in life, in literal sense, in gardening, all of that. Okay, but I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it was helpful to you. Make sure you check out the previous video where I show you how I start my pepper seeds. Okay, these are the ones that I still have to do. It doesn't look like there's a lot there, but I promise you it is. And these are the ones I'm shipping off to some of my garden friends. Okay. But yeah, this is how I water the plants before I cut off the video. This is how I water my plants. I just keep a 1-gallon jug. I fill it up every morning or whenever I'm watering my plants. I fill it up and water my plants like this from the bottom. So this is how those drainage holes that I made, this is how they absorb all the water. It's nutrient water. So I use a hydroponics nutrient in the water to feed my plants, and they suck it up. And that's how they get their nutrients, through the watering. Okay, but I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, like this video, comment down below, and I'll see you very soon in another video. Bye, guys.